Hey there, kings and queens. My name is Kincaid McMinn, and you're watching the Kingly Love YouTube channel. So I've got a little bit of a different setup here today. My current setup is not currently available, but it's a beautiful day outside, so I wanted to go ahead and shoot this video for you guys anyway. I got a great question from a friend. It really brightened up my day when I got it. The question was, what do I do with all the cum? Like, after penis and vagina intercourse, what does one do with all of it? And at first it was really funny, like, the layman answer, the easy answer is just, well, just grab a towel and wipe it off. But there's actually a lot more to unpack here. I want to take you through that journey and kind of present with you a couple different options I think you might enjoy. First, I think we need to address the question of what is cum? What is semen? Like, what does that all make up? Cum or semen is actually made up of a couple different things. It's a cocktail of different sugars and proteins, some water, and a couple other stuff. But it breaks down primarily into three main categories. Number one is sperm. We all are aware that there is sperm in semen. What you may not know is that even though there are tens or even hundreds of million sperm cells released during each ejaculation, only about 1% of the semen that you emit during ejaculation is actually sperm. There is a lot of other stuff that goes in there, and sperm is just one small component of it. The remaining 99% is going to be made up primarily of fluid from the prostate, which is a little walnut-sized gland. Let me see if I can use my other hand. A little walnut-sized gland that can be found if you feel inside of your rectum, inside of your anus, and press on the anterior wall, the front of your body, you can typically feel this little walnut-sized gland. That's your prostate. And the other ingredient that's going to be in there is fluid from the seminal vesicles. So the way that some basic anatomy for you, sperm starts inside the testes, goes up through the epididymis, and then there are a couple of tracts, some seminal tracts that go from the testes all the way up and around to the base of the urethra. Right as they're about to reach the base of the urethra, that is where the seminal vesicles are on each of those two separate semen tracts. And all of that builds up pressure as you're being stimulated and then is released by a series of muscular contractions at the moment of orgasm or ejaculation. Once it comes out, it's going to be a lot of times very gummy at first, very kind of sticky and viscous, and it can be really goopy, but then over time can actually get a little bit runny. You may see after a while it starts to look like this. It's very thin and watery. This is actual semen. It was donated by a friend of mine. Whenever I mentioned that I wanted to make this video, they actually offered to donate their ejaculate and their semen, so I'm very thankful to that friend. It was really cool, actually, that somebody wants to contribute to sex positivity, so I really appreciate your help so much. You may notice that over time it becomes a little bit thinner, and that's totally normal and natural. There are actually ingredients in the semen that, because they form from different things, when you have prostatic fluid and the seminal vesicle fluid, that whenever they mix, there is actually a chemical reaction that's supposed to happen that will create that thinness. We don't really know why that happens, but it does. Now that we've defined what semen is, let's go ahead and work on figuring out what do you do with all of it. First thing is, if you're wearing a condom, you finish ejaculating. What you need to do next is pinch at the base and go ahead and remove the condom up over the top like that. If you want to, you can tie it in a nice little knot and then throw it away. There's some people who are just walking by, so it's like I need to be quiet while they're walking by, because I am a sexual deviant and I'm not proper company to have at the table. If you're not using a condom, you have a couple other options as well. You can either use the withdrawal method, which is the pull-out method. At the moment of ejaculation, you go ahead and pull out, and then you ejaculate outside of their body, either into a towel or somewhere onto their person. Or if you're not wearing a condom and you and your partner have agreed that it's okay to ejaculate inside, you have a couple options as well. So once you ejaculate, you go ahead, pull the penis out, and there may be a little bit of seepage over time. So there are a couple ways to deal with that. You can either simply wipe it up with a towel and then go ahead and you can wear some panty liner that will help absorb some of that extra fluid. Or if you want things to be really, really clean afterwards, another suggestion that I received from another sex coach was to simply hop in the shower, squat, and then cough, and that'll typically get rid of most of any sort of lingering semen that may be up inside of your vagina. And lastly, if you have a vagina, make sure that you are urinating after sex. That'll help prevent bacteria from causing a urinary tract infection or UTI. That's really, really important. Every time you have sex, always be sure to urinate shortly afterwards. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Those are some of my tips and tricks and recommendations on how to deal with all the cum. We've talked about what it is and also talked about various ways of disposing of it, whether you have a condom or not. Go ahead, drop a comment down below. What is your post-coital or post-intercourse routine? What do you do? How do you dispose of the cum or semen that you have? Or do you have any other questions about orgasm specifically? Go ahead, drop those down below. Be sure to also follow me on Instagram. My handle is in the description below, but it's also, I'll put it here, it's kinglylove01. You can find me on Twitter. I post a lot there. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more fun, sexy content just like this one. In the meantime, I will talk to you all later. Love like royalty.